Welcome to the state's richest tournament fishing event. I'm Chip Lear, along with Tommy Scarlett at the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour on our second stop in Brainerd, Minnesota, on the beautiful Gull Lake chain of lakes. We're out of Ron's Steakhouse here, and Tommy, this is much different than our first stop down in Red Wing.
Oh, you can say that again, Chip. I'm telling you what, this is one of the first times we've seen the sun all day, and this tournament is shaping up to be a battle. The wind has come up, the waves have come up, the anglers are facing some very tough conditions, throwing a little bit of drizzle, post-spawn fish, cold front conditions, and hey, I'm telling you what, these anglers can get it done, though, because when the going gets tough, the tough gets going.
And when we left you in Red Wing, pro angler Matt Klein was leading the field along with his amateur partner Patrick Steele. It'll be an interesting chase for him here in Gull.
Oh, and there's some tough anglers behind him, Mike Vincey, Mark Fisher, to name a few. I wouldn't want any of those guys breathing down my neck. So let's stick around and see who comes out on top.
The Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour is sponsored by Chevy Trucks, Hormel, K-Fan Radio, Mercury Motors, Media Rare Incorporated, and Michelob Golden Light.
Ready?
Yeah.
2.
It's supposed to be cold. It's supposed to rain for at least the first half of the day. And most tournaments, when it rains, I do a little bit better.
This cold rain and the weather we've been having has dropped this water temp, and it's really got these fish screwed up. The weeds aren't growing out on the deep stuff like they should either. So fish are messed up, the weather's messed up, and it's gonna make for an interesting tournament tomorrow.
I definitely take into account what the weather might be doing. I fish north side, south sides. I fish behind islands. I try to find bays so that no matter what the wind is doing, at some point I can find weather that I can fish in.
The fish out there are in post spawn. They're out on the weed lines. They're biting pretty good. So there's going to be a lot of really nice fish caught tomorrow. A lot of limits will come in. There'll be a lot of 2-pound averages caught. If you can put a 4-pounder in the boat, they'll do well. But you need a kicker or you need a spot that you can get 2 or 3 bigger fish.
That's a great lake, Tom.
Well, there's a lot of diversity in this system here. It's unbelievable how many different patterns that these anglers have to cover and concern themselves with.
Oh, everything from the deep, clear water in Gull and Round Lake to the darker water in the small lakes on the north end, not to mention the structure differences.
And there's a lot of preparation that's going to go into getting ready for all these different patterns, the deep weeds, the shallow docks, the shallow weeds, and everything in between. And we got an opportunity to check out what Karen Savick was doing to prepare for this tournament. So let's go see what she does.
There is a whole lot more to getting ready for a tournament than just pre-fishing. Just before the pre-tournament meeting, I might get all my gear out and have to retie everything. You need a lot of rods and reels to fish in a tournament so that if you break off, if a fish comes off, if you need to change a presentation, you can grab another one. I don't sleep too well the night before a tournament. I think I'm checking that clock every hour on the hour. I do not want to lose the big one. I'll tell you, I would do anything to make sure that I keep the big one on the line and I boat that fish.
Another beautiful day on Gull Lake. The wind's blowing like normal. Every tournament it's going to rain.
The wind switched today. It was different. The 2 days of pre-fishing. I just hope my fish stick in the same spot.
I hope we'll bring in a good bag of fish, but we'll see. It's going to be a tough day.
I see 14 to 17 pounds somewhere up in there to be really, really good weight today.
These guys are so good that somebody's going to be really super today.
The caliber of anglers that we have here fishing this tournament, weather conditions aren't going to play that big a factor. People know where the fish are, they're going to go catch them.
So what we're going to do is we're going to run up north, we're going to fish a small chain of lakes. We're going to go start in Nisswa, and then we'll fish Roy. There's a couple little inside turns in Nisswa that have been holding fish. We caught a lot of good fish in there last week.
1, 2, 3 boats on the spot. So that gears up route. All right? 3 boats. That's the problem with finding a good spot. Usually
Between Gull Lake and Whitefish and all of them, they're great lakes. I think they're a lot of fun. You got such a diverse, different structure, the weeds never grow the same, so guys don't really have definite spots or anything. And plus these fish are so moody all the time that you think you got them in one spot. You go there and they're not, and you gotta try and figure out where they are, just like today. There's fish. It's a good one.
The key to these Minnesota Pro-Ams are to get your limit each time. If you can get your limit, you'll make it to the Tournament of Champions, which is all what we're trying to accomplish. I got a good partner. He's been around already quite a bit, and I know he's not going to get all bent out of shape, and I think if he gets a bite, he'll catch the fish. So, you know, it's just keep fishing. That's all there is to it. It's just work.
Well, as you can see, we're watching Pro Brad Lieferman and junior amateur Ross Taylor, and the sun's behind us here, and it looks kind of nice, but it can be deceiving. As we look around the lake, the conditions are still kind of volatile. It's windy, it's cold, temperatures are in the high 40s to low 50s, and this water temperature is dropping as we speak. So we're going to see if actually these anglers can eke out some fish and catch some fish under these tough conditions.
Yeah, we just pulled up on the spot. It's my amateur spot. We were fishing a little coontail, and we just popped a real nice fish. Hopefully we can keep it going here. There's one.
That makes 6 fish for pro angler Dan Beckerman and his amateur partner Buckley Smith. And I'll tell you what, this is part of what makes tournament fishing so exciting. These anglers have been to 3, 4 spots before they finally had to switch tactics and react to these cold front conditions. Being able to react to the conditions, react to these cold front conditions and change your plans in the middle of the game is what makes these top professional anglers who they are and puts them at the top of their game.
These cold front conditions and all the traffic that's been on the lake with all of us fishermen practicing these last 2 days, and I've been fishing this area all morning, and nobody's been fishing this, and I'm just trying to find maybe a fish or two that haven't seen a lure yet.
Oh, what was that? Oh. Here comes a good one.
Basically what we're doing is we're just throwing a jig. What we've got is scattered clumps of cabbage and coontail all mixed together. There's some pickleweed growing up in here.
Whoa, come on.
Got him. And we're just throwing a ½ ounce jig. And what we've got is kind of mixing it up. We've got some purple and blue grubs. And then we also are throwing this pumpkin chartreuse colored grub as well. We'll just kind of mix it up periodically, give them something different to look at every once in a while and see if we can catch some of these bigger fish.
We pull up to this spot here, start throwing some spinnerbaits over the cabbage, and by, I say we pulled up here at 10:30. By 11:15 we had our limit. Have about 10 pounds now, and just gonna keep chucking these blades until we get a big one.
The Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour is brought to you by Midwest Sports Channel, the Minnesota State Lottery, Ranger Boats, and the Star Tribune.
Now MSC has all the action of the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour. This is the ultimate fishing tournament as top professionals and amateurs compete in one of the region's premier angling events. So catch the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour with your outdoor sports lineup all summer long on MSC, your outdoor sports connection.
This is Kendall Folska. She's throwing a Berkeley power bait for a while. She was catching some small bass. What does she switch to now, Chip?
Well, she moved into this shallow weed flat and put on a spinnerbait. I think she might be having some action.
Let's check it out and see what Kendall's got on the line.
Well, we want to create a fun event to where adults and children can all compete on a virtual reality big screen TV and fish for a largemouth bass.
Kendall Folska, your new Minnesota Pro-Am Virtual Reality Tournament Angler Champion. Well, the sun's coming out and the high pressure's moving in. The clouds are going to clear, and we're here with past Angler of the Year, Paul Newman. He's working a deep cabbage bed. He just missed a bite just now. Let's see how he's going to do. Let's see if he can pull a couple more fish out of this cabbage.
Well, Mother Nature's taken over today. It's gotten really cold and wind is blowing. Fish haven't started biting for us yet, but we're going to keep sitting on these fish here and work them for a while, see if we can get them to start biting. I think a little few breaks in the clouds, if that sun pokes out a little more and warms things up, I think you can get some fish to bite. Right now, I'm just as cold as they are. Should have put socks on today. Our first spot this morning, we pulled up, got a few casts in, they weren't out on the edge, so we moved up on top. When we got up on top, it was one after another. As fast as I could put them in the boat, he was putting them in the well. And we caught 12 fish. And then he finally got up front with me, and we caught a few more, and then they just shut down. But we got 7 of them that are going to weigh. They're not real large, and we're hoping to upgrade a little bit.
Got one.
Oh. Turn up. Oh. Turn up. Where is he? Yeah, he'll go.
Steve, it's crazy weather. I can't believe it today. It's raining 1 minute, you got rain gear on, all of a sudden take it off and feel comfortable, and it's sun. See, net. Oh, it could be. I think it's a good one. I think it's a good one. Another one of those crankbait fish. Oh, all right. Yes. We need that one.
You got to earn your respect out here, that's for sure. And that's basically what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to not get in anybody's way and just earn some respect and go from there.
Fish. It's a good one. It's a decent one. Down. It's a decent one there. That's going to help us.
George and I have worked real hard to catch the fish that we've got. We've been fishing crankbaits on outside weed lines and then throwing some plastics around some docks. But we've got 6 right now, good solid keepers. But we've been doing something a little bit different. Everybody else has been fishing slow, pretty slow and stuff, and we've been going after reaction bites out here on these weed lines. So we've just been going around trying to cover lots of water, and hopefully we can pick up a couple more.
We're just kind of cruising around, picking some steep bank and trying to get lucky. Got my amateur in the back of the boat there, and Joe, he's been slaying them everywhere, but you know, some people are catching them, some people aren't. I got one right here. I just scoop them in. Now we got 2 fish instead of 1.
As you can see, the wind has come up. I mean, it is blowing. I'm on the lee side of the lake. I got the trolling motor on about 75%, and I can barely even hold in the wind here. Right now, we're trying to call up. We've got about 21 pounds, I figure, maybe 20. And we got one small one, and we're trying to get a big one here. And we're just sitting here. I got a jungle jig with a power craw in the back, and I'm flipping it into the pockets of these weeds, and I'm just shaking it and swimming it and doing whatever I can, because you can't make a real long cast when the wind is like this. And I mean, it is honky. You cast into the wind, and it almost blows back at you. And I got the spot that my dad won the tournament on a couple years ago when he won it up here. I got that spot left to fish yet, so we've still got a few aces up our sleeve here, and we're just hoping for a couple more big ones and put us in on top today.
We started out, it's 9 o'clock now. We've got 6 fish in the boat, 3 nice ones and 2 little ones. We took those fish on a deep weed edge out in the main lake. Now we're in here in Round Lake catching walleyes. Not by choice, mind you. It's just that my partner is just one awesome walleye guy. So I don't know if the weather's gonna hold or what the weather's gonna do. There's fish. Nice one. Maybe not nice one. I do that for the camera. Nice one for the camera. Hold it now, hold it now. Wide angle lens. Whoa, big fish. This is what you don't want to catch. You want to catch a big one.
Stay tuned. When we come back, there's more fishing action both on and off the water.
Hello and welcome to the Brainerd Lakes area. You're watching the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour.
The Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour brings a wonderful opportunity for the Brainerd Lakes area to showcase what we have to offer as a community. When you visit our area, your first stop will be at the Chamber's Information Centers, and they are located just underneath the historic water tower in downtown Brainerd or in Cross Lake in downtown Cross Lake. We have a lot of things to see and do. If golf is your bag, we've got over 450 holes of golf at 22 different golf courses. And if you like shopping, we have over 30 different antique shops, and each of our little neighborhoods within the Brainerd Lakes area has a unique flavor all its own. We even have tremendous community festivals, everything from the July 4th capital of the world here in Brainerd to the Pickle Parade. So there's a little bit of something for everyone. We have over 450 lakes within 30 minutes of us. And if you like to do any water skiing or fishing or just lay on the beach in the sun, you're going to love the Brainerd Lakes area.
Fish weren't jumping in the boat today. We had a front came through, and but we worked hard and we got our fish and got a couple of okay fish, but it was tough.
Most of them got their fish early this morning, and this afternoon it was real slow out there. So whoever caught them this morning is going to have the big bag.
We made all the right decisions today. We got our limit early, moved out to some deep water and threw a crankbait and caught nice fish, and we caught them all day long. So I'm looking forward to going to the scales because I think we got a shot at doing it all.
Is everybody pumped up to see some big fish? Are we ready to rock and roll?
Tactics and ended up maybe somewhere they didn't plan to.
14.62 pounds, that's not bad for changing tactics.
Well, it looks like you've got a heck of a bag here, and it's probably going to be the next tournament leader at 18.09 pounds. Wonderful. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Right now, they're bumping the fish. Weighmaster John Hesse, and tournament director, is actually over there right now measuring the fish. There's a 12-inch minimum on the bass in this tournament, and 8 fish per team can be weighed. And you got 20.20.
We had about 10 minutes left, and I said, no, we're not done. I have a minute left. Caught a 3-pounder. So you just cannot quit.
It ain't over till the big fat bass bites, right? So
and patronize them because they've done a real good job.
This could be a money bag, Chip.
Come on, stage now. How did you carry that up there all the way?
I believe he was the only one on that lake.
Well, it was a good feeling to go back there and see that no one was back there, because last night I was more nervous than a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I knew it was a good spot, and it was just a matter of staying there and fishing it until I got the 8 fish that we got. So
22.44. 22.44. He just was the current leader, and now he is the current leader.
2 teams to weigh, and we got some fish.
And coming up now, we've got Billy.
Look at that.
Amateur partner Steve McFarley. Come on over here.
Come on over here, guys. You're going to have the top 22.44 pounds take the lead. 21.24, but you are currently now in second place. And it's Dean Capra, and he's having trouble carrying the sack. He didn't even let the big guy carry the sack. 22.44 pounds to take the lead. We got him rooting. There's your winner at 24. Unofficially, your winner at 24.04 pounds. Dean Capra, local legend. Fish the Minnesota Pro Bass Tour.
Now it's time for the winning tip, brought to you by Berkeley.
Boy, what a day we had out on the water today. Caught those great big 3-pound bass up to 4 pounds. Wow, unbelievable. You know, a big key to our success today was the Berkeley Power Craw. We were using this on the back of a Northland jungle jig, and basically you thread it on just like that there, and that it makes a crawdad imitation like you can't believe. Them bass went crazy over it. That was one of the keys to our success. The other thing that we did today was we were using Berkeley power worms along with a rattling Thunderbolt. Now this sinker actually rattles and it attracts fish in the weeds. You'd flip it out and you'd shake it and you'd make a little bit of noise. One of the other things that we did today to catch fish was covered a lot of water. We were throwing Rapalas and frenzy type rattling baits and just covering water, catching fish here, one there, but the bigger fish seemed to come on the jig pattern, and it didn't really matter the color. It seemed like the crawdad patterns or the black-blue worked the best. We had a really great day today, and part of it was because of the Berkeley Power Craws, the Power Worms, and the Rapalas.
The second stop for the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour has come to a halt here in Brainerd, Minnesota on the Gull Lake chain, and what an event it was. The state's richest tournament fishing event, Tommy, and it sure lived up to its name. And we have to commend pro angler Dean Capra and his amateur partner Hough as they pulled off one heck of a day.
Oh, and I'm telling you, the adversity and the complications that they had to face. Dean actually found out not too long ago that his dad, Ted, was in the hospital and wasn't feeling very well, probably won't be back for the rest of the season. The Capras are legendary anglers on Minnetonka and Gull Lake here, and it's a situation where he had to pull out all of his tricks to eke a skosh over 24 pounds and win this tournament. The cold front, the post-spawn fish, his dad in the hospital, man, what a battle.
I'll tell you what, it's really going to heat up the chases for Angler of the Year as we all head towards the Tournament of Champions coming up in August. Only 2 events remaining, the next one being Lake Minnetonka, July 7th. We hope to see you there at the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour.